Our officers met with his officers, and we had agreed sometime later that we would meet for terms. The terms were unconditional surrender, and without the normal protocol for surrender. Normal protocol would be that their army would be allowed to march out of their fortifications with their weapons and their unit colors flying. They would be permitted to play a tune, and they would surrender to the commanding general of the opposing army. However, I'm always mindful of past events, and one of those past events was when the British took a important garrison of ours in the south. General Benjamin Lincoln was not allowed to march his army out with the flags and colors unfurled, and they were subjected to much humiliation. They had to be encased because they were not treated as equals, because that's what that symbolizes, that you respect the other side. So the conditions were that they were to march out of their fortification with their colors encased, and that all of their weapons were to be stacked at a point that we designated. And so many of the British soldiers, of course, threw their weapons down in disgust, and some tried to break them as they did it. This is to be expected. But the other very important thing was, when it came time for the formal surrender by the commanding officer, General Cornwallis, he feigned illness and sent out his second in command to surrender his sword for him. And if that isn't bad enough, his second in command approached General Rochambeau and gave General Cornwallis's compliments, and he surrenders his sword. General Rochambeau did not answer, but simply pointed over toward myself. And then the officer turned around and he came over to me and once again handed out his sword and told me that General Cornwallis sends his respects and surrenders his command. Instead of answering him, I did the same thing General Rochambeau did, except that I pointed down the line to General Benjamin Lincoln, who had surrendered to General Cornwallis sometime before under these same austere conditions. So I, in essence, made the British surrender to a much lower ranking general, a brigadier general actually, and as a payback, if you will.
Right up ahead is the Victory Monument.